Hello everybody, so I decided to make this video to explain how I became psychic, or what it is to be psychic. I'm only 19, so yeah, I don't know, I've seen a lot of things about people saying that psychics are fake and all these things, that they're scams and whatever the case may be. I honestly agree that a lot of people are scammers. Like, there's a lot of people that are only saying that they're psychic to get money out of people or to scam people or things like that. That's how I feel. Like, that's with everybody though. Like, there's con artists, all this stuff. They're definitely con artists. But to say the psychics are not real ever is like not I don't that's not true. Like, it's not. Because I'm not gonna say I was a skeptic, but I do come to a point where I do believe in things, but at the same time, sometimes, like, I'm like, but is it really real? But, like, I know that it's real because I am one of those things. I do offer psychic readings and stuff like that, but it's not like people that do actually have a gift would know that being psychic isn't something that you should take advantage of. Wait, I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is, like, it's not a thing that you're like, oh, I'm a psychic, like, I'm gonna charge everybody money and all this stuff, because that's not how it is. Like, God gave you a gift for a reason, to literally better the world. So how are you gonna use that to, like, scam people or whatever? So yeah, I do offer psychic services. I have a website, a spiritual business called Electra Soul, where I sell other stuff, things like that. And I do have free things on there, so check it out if you'd like. But basically, yeah, I think being psychic is extremely it's like a talent. It's a talent, like, not everyone is definitely clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but everyone definitely has what's it called? Everyone has that ability, but a lot of us do not practice it because of ego, which is a whole other story. But yeah, basically, so okay, so not to sound like the people from the 1800s, like people like to say, but I have had encounters with, like, demons and evil spirits and whatever spirits that there are. I do have encounters with them daily. I have encounters with spirits daily. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, that's how I live. I'm not gonna say it's a peaceful way to live, but it is the way that I live, because that's just how my life is, or how my life was supposed to be. So when I was little, ever since I was little, I was always interested in the spiritual world, like, period, no matter what. Ever since I was little, I'm talking like young. I can't remember exactly what age, but all I know is that since I was little, like a little kid, like 8 years younger than that, I used to have nightmares about, like, evil things, and, like, I would scream. I would be very scared. I would cry a lot. And I used to also see things, but it wasn't, I don't know, like, adults be like, they're like, oh, it's okay, like, there's nothing there, and you're like, yeah, there is, but they're like, no, there isn't, but there is to you, because basically what happened to me. And when I was in middle school, I grew, like, this fascination with the spiritual world, like, so crazy. I was obsessed with zodiac, still am, and I would search up mad videos on YouTube about spirituality, not spirituality, like spirits, like spirit hunting, demons, and, like, I just wanted to know, like, the Illuminati. Oh my god, I think we were all obsessed with the Illuminati at one point, but I was so obsessed with the Illuminati because I thought it was so interesting, and I was like, oh my god, and all this stuff. So that's, like, one of the things. So as I grew older, that never really left though. Like, I was always obsessed with zodiacs. Like, I know it sounds like something that everyone's obsessed with, but I was obsessed with this for a very long time. Like, you can tell me anything. You could be like, I'm a Scorpio, and I'll put down the whole thing. I'll search up your chart, and I'll literally explain each and every part of your chart to you. and what each planet rules and everything like that, because that's just like how I am. But that's like where it all sparked. Like I was just obsessed, and I was obsessed with the Vampire Diaries, which definitely has to do with twin flames and soulmates, which I didn't even know when I was 13, but I definitely was in love with like Stefan and Elena, and I was like, oh my god, like soulmates, I'm gonna find that one day, you know, all this stuff. But I was obsessed with that. That was the only show I was really obsessed with, like the only show. And of course I had a witch in it. I'm not a witch, but there was a witch in it. It was like spiritual things like that, and I thought it was so fascinating. And basically, yeah, as I got older and older, like I don't know, I just never stopped. I was always intuitive, like listen to, like I always knew that I was getting spiritual advice from like I was getting signs, but I would never, oh my god, I would never listen ever. Like I was the most stubborn like 16, 17-year-old. Like I would get signs not to do something, but I would still do it. And I would know, I'd be like, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna. And then it would literally mess everything up. Like, listen to your guides. Please listen to your guides, because you'll mess everything up if you don't. And I mean that. But, yeah, so basically, it's just like a whole bunch of things. Literally my entire life. Like, there was never a time that I wasn't spiritual. Ever. 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 Like, even my Instagram was spiritual. And I used to model. Like I was obsessed with modeling, so I used to always post like modeling photos, and there would always be like some crazy like caption. It was never be like, I don't know, I just would always, I don't know, I just never like, it's not that I didn't have fun, like I had a lot of fun, but I never like, I don't know how to explain it. I just would always be super spiritual. So when I was 17, I went through a rough awakening, and my mind changed. Everything changed about me. Everything. I don't mean like spiritual wise. Actually, yeah, because I started doing things that were right for me instead of ignoring the things that I was supposed to do. I started actually doing them. And I don't know. I just always had this thing that I knew, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, someone would ask me for advice, and I would tell them exactly what would happen. I'd be like, listen, if you do this and that, this is what's gonna happen. And sometimes they wouldn't listen or whatever, and then they would do it, and they'd be like, oh my god, what happened, what you said was true. And I'm not saying this in a way to be like, oh my god, like I'm right about everything, because I'm not. Like, I'm literally not right about everything. I'm only a person. I'm not God. I'm not an angel. I'm a human. Like, I'm a human with spiritual abilities, so there's a difference. Like, if you have spiritual abilities, do not think, oh my god, like I'm spiritual, like I'm better and I'm superior because I'm smart. Like that, no, like that's not good. It's not a way to think. Being spiritual does not make you better than other people. Everyone is learning at their own pace. Like, literally, their life cycle is different from yours. You guys did not sign up for the same stuff. You guys didn't come to earth to do the same things. Like, there are people that are learning. So do not ever judge people for going through something, for doing stupid things, for smoking, for drinking. Like, that's literally their life. That's them. Leave them alone. Focus on you. So that's what I like learned over time. I was like, okay. And I definitely knew I had an ability, but I was always scared. Like, I was always scared of really, like, what is it called, like embracing it, because I was like, what if I'm wrong? Like, I hated being wrong. I'm a Capricorn, so I was like, I don't want to be wrong. Like, I don't want to give someone a reading and be wrong, or tell someone some fortune or whatever and be wrong, you know. Like, I never wanted to do that. But over time, like, I remember I'd see auras, like you just look at somebody for like 5 minutes or so, less. Like, you just talk to somebody, you space out, and then you start seeing like a color around them. That's what would happen to me. You see it around objects, around animals, like everything like that. I would literally see things like I don't know, it was crazy, like crazy stuff. And I would also, like, I remember when I was younger, I would fall asleep, and when I would fall asleep, I literally hear like people talking, and it was like it was like spirits. Like, now I know it was spirits talking. But I'm sorry, the first real encounter that I ever had like with a spirit was when I was in the 4th grade. I was a little girl. I was like 10. I literally turned 10, And I remember I was super sad because I missed like this, because I used to go to New York every single year. Like, that was my place. It still is my place. I go often. But when I was younger, when I used to go, I used to be like obsessed with it because my family was there and we had a lot of fun. And when I got back to where I live, I was like, oh my God, back to everyday life. Like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So I was 10. Like, keep that in mind. I was only 10. And usually any 10-year-old, like, 10-year-olds get over things quickly. Like, they don't really like stay stuck on something. They're not like, dang, like, for 10 weeks. Like, but me, I was very different with that. I was more like, I would get very sad easily, and I'd be like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? And I would think about things that, like, I feel like kids my age didn't think about, because every time I tried to talk to somebody about it, like, no one understood what I was talking about. And, you know, it was just like I was very alone. So I remember I would hear like spirit. No, at the time I literally thought it was me. I thought I was crazy, and I thought I was literally, I thought it was crazy. Like, I just thought it was crazy because I kept hearing voices in my head. Like, I was like, what in the world? And they would tell me, like, really mean things. Like, really mean things. And I'd be like, what? Like, I'd be like, oh my God, like, what's happening? And it would be like, I would just hear messed up things. And I felt so sad. So sad. And I remember it was two guys, no, it was two girls and one guy. It was three voices, literally like three separate voices, and they were all telling me different things. Like, they'd be like, oh, this and that, like bad things about my life to make me feel worse. And it did work. Like, I felt really bad about myself. I was like, geez. And I told my mom, I remember I was like, Mom, like, I'm hearing voices, like, literally. And she was like, don't think about it. And I was like, I'm trying not to, but I did. Like, it, no matter what I did, I always heard it, and I was going through a lot, and it was literally like 2 weeks, but it felt like a year of pain. Like, it was so hard, and I would just be so sad, and like, I thought I was gonna do things I would regret, and I was only 10. Like, keep that in mind. I was only 10. I said that already, but I just, like, even now I still think, and I'm like, damn, like, I was only a kid, like, you know. And I remember over time, I told this one girl, and she would just, I don't know, she just didn't understand. And of course, like, who was gonna understand? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what to do. Like, these voices are telling me to do this, and I'm this and this and that. And then over time, literally, I remember I kept praying. I prayed a lot, and I was like, please, like, help me. And it went away. I remember it just went away. After that, I felt so much better about myself. Like, things started going back to normal, but that never really left my mind. Like, I always thought about that. I was like, what was that? Like, what really was that? Because it was very strange. So some big thing happened last year, 2019, literally like October, September. The craziest thing of my life happened with spirits, and I'll get into that maybe one day in the future, like, because it's honestly a story that many probably won't believe unless you're spiritual and have been through the same thing. But I found out that the voices that were talking to me when I was younger were demons. Like, they were literally demons coming after me because, one, they knew I had an ability, and two, because I was very sad. And when you're very sad, they latch onto you like this. Like, they're like, we got bait. Like, and of course, when you're a kid, it's even worse because kids are more susceptible to seeing things and hearing things, just like older people are. So I was like perfect bait, you know? And of course, like, I fought through it without even knowing what it was. I got through it. I was fine. And yeah, I mean, it changed me in a way. Like, I try to forget about it, but like, I found out what it was because I started a relationship with God. Like, I talked to God every single day of my life, every single day. Like, I remember when I was little, I was like, I always knew God was real. I was always like, God's real, but I can't hear him and I can't see him. But like, you can, like, anyone can. It's just like crazy. Like God is everything good. All the good things is God. And I remember I used to get like the craziest signs from him to not do something, and it would be like oh my gosh, one day I'm gonna talk about this like in another video, because the signs were just like what in the world? Like, how can you even get a sign like that? And even at the time, it was too crazy for me, but I still believed it. Does that make sense? Like, it was signs that were too crazy. I feel like for another person, they would have been, like, out of this world. Like, they would have been, like, too freaked out. But to me, yeah, I was freaked out. But I definitely took that into mind. I was like, dang, God is really trying to talk to me right now. But yeah, after whatever happened last year, with what I went through, me and God started talking every single day. Every single day of my life. Till now. I mean, still now. Like, we talk every single day. It's like crazy, like, oh my gosh. I will definitely get into another video about talking how to do it and all this stuff. It's really simple, like anybody can do it. I feel like a lot of people feel threatened by clairvoyance and clairaudience and psychics or whatever, because they feel like these people are acting like they're superior, or like, oh yeah, I can do this but you can't. Like, no, everybody can do it. Sometimes you literally just have to get your mind out of the gutter. Literally, you have to stop being so egoistic and stop thinking life is a competition and this and that and blah blah blah. Like, no, life isn't a competition. Everyone is equal. You just literally have to get to that state of mind, because at one point I was there too. I was at the lowest of the low, and when you get to the lowest of the low, where can you go? You can only go up. So I literally worked my way up into where I am today, and I am a psychic. That is how it is. I hear things every single day. I get signs, I listen to my guides, I don't ignore them. It's just like things like that. If you want to live your best life, listen to your guides. Even if you're not like spiritual and you don't talk to spirits, like you can still get signs if you ask for them. Like, you can still get signs. It's not like something that is like, oh my God, like only like, I don't know, only sages can do that. Like, no, like anybody can do that. It's literally up to you to make that decision. I guess literally the moral of the story is that I didn't become psychic. I always was. I mean, but that's everybody, you know? And I mean, I don't know. It's a very crazy story. I've already spoken for 17 minutes, so I kind of feel like I spoke a lot. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. Like, I have a business now. I'm only 19. I worked my way up. You have to do these things if you want to be happy. Like, that is just the way it is. You cannot sugarcoat, like procrastinate, be like, oh, things are fine, or like, I'm fine where like, no, like, you're fine, but you could be finer, you know? Like, you could do better. Like, just keep going. Like, literally, don't give up. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on your dreams, because you can be so much more than what you already are. Does that make sense? It does make sense. You just literally need to believe in yourself, because a lot of times we don't, but you need to. All right, I think that's about it. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know how I told my story. I feel like it was all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it spoke to you in some way. My Instagram is electrasoul444. 444 is an angel number. That means that all angels are around you, so keep that in mind. That's what I thought about when I made that. My website is electrasoul.co, not com. But yeah, so that's everything. Check it out if you like. I mean, I put an angel oracle card of the week and an angel number of the week every single Monday for people to, you know, for the week. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. Okay. Bye guys. Thanks.